get close, so why you wanna touch us? 'Cause my team is so hard. My team is legit. Madden 20.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Just as we were ready for air, it was the Colts emerging from the locker room to great fanfare here in Indy. They're ready to go as the Colts get set to match up with the Houston Texans. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Let's go now. Go to base. Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up.
This is Marlon Mack, third-year running back. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. On second down, here's a run with Mack. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 48-yard line. He's going to let this one go deep. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. From the gun, here's Brissett. Looking deep for Hilton. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. They'll run here with Mack. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
It's now 3rd and goal.
Can this defense get the stop on the opening drive? Here's 3rd and goal. They'll try and run. Here's Mack. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down.
A 26-yard attempt.
Vinatieri's kick is good. Vinatieri, the NFL's oldest active player, also the league's all-time leading scorer, past Morton Anderson last year.
Yeah, he turned 46 in December of 2018. You really can't see it in his leg. Maybe in the beard.
You can see it in the beard.
Maybe in the beard. That's about it. But as long as he's booting them the way he's booting them, keep going, big guy.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 20. from the gun. Here's Watson. It's complete to Fuller. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. On the jet sweep, here comes Fuller. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. To throw is Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43.
Watch the boot. Check. 29. And 24. Whip. 24. Jam. Now let's go.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Stepping up, he'll try and run. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the Colts pick it up. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether it's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Well, they had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Brissett to the right side to Eric Ebron. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They'll try and run for this with Mack. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the 1st. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Texans nothing.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. After the run, Watson going to throw. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts' 45-yard line.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a 1st down.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now the pass hauled in by Kenny Stills. He'll get it to the 40. Broke a tackle there to get some extra yardage. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. 2 minutes gone by, second quarter. From the gun on third, Watson. And he finds Stills, complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 29-yard line. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Flush to his right. And now he's going to use his legs. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. He'd had some success as a runner previously on this drive, just not as much space there that time.
Yeah, this time when he pulled it down, they were ready for him. So I think he's going to have to fling a few in order to open up that running lane again.
We're set. 19. Hey, watch the sled. Watch the sled.
Here's a carry for a former starter. This is Lamar Miller. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So another third down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. They'll try to run it in, going option. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson keeping it himself from a yard out as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And they take the lead here at 7-6. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They've been settling quite a bit. They've been able to move the football some, but they've just been settling. That's one of the reasons they're down on the scoreboard.
I love that word you picked, settling, because nowadays in this NFL, you're thinking touchdown almost every drive because everything's so high-powered. Yeah, you'll take the field goal, but you always feel like you're leaving points out there when you don't put it in the end zone.
They'll be trying to put it in the end zone here on this drive. Here's Mack. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It was Justin Houston, the native of Statesboro, Georgia, with a sack. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And now a pass dumped off to his running back. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Well, that second down completion, something of a disaster, and now they're left with 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Quincy Wilson with the INT. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Trying to get it that time to Stills. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make...
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Whitney merciless. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football, but you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. That's sacked by the DN, Danico Autry. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a...
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. He was looking for Chester Rogers that time. And it's 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. To throw, Brissett. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. 3rd down now. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Big stop, let's go.
They'll throw now on the final play. Looking deep for Hilton. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. So we're at halftime with our score 7-6 in a tough-fought first half. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
From the 27, Watson. He finds his man Johnson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
First down, Houston.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Justin Houston able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Running from the gun, Johnson. Call it a 3-yard gain, but they'll be forced into a 3rd and 15 coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. So it would appear they will not be able to add to their lead on this opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, if another touchdown was scored there, now we're talking about a 2-score game, and they're probably on their way of creating an excellent gap between them and their pursuers. But how about the defense there, able to step up and keep themselves in this one?
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. On 2nd and 9, Brissett, throw complete there, Rodgers, and some room to maneuver. A big play there for Indy, and even 50 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely look for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Eric Ebron, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Colts are going to jump back in front. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Watson. That's caught by his tight end, Jordan Akins. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
A 7-yard gain.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And Stills bringing it in. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Houston. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
Check, check. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Shit, shit, shit.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. He's got the lane, and there he goes. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Chester Rogers, 79 yards. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Now Adam Vinatieri for the point after.
How about that touchdown, partner? If you blinked, you probably missed it. I looked away for just a second, and they were in the end zone.
And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now left side on the swing pass. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Here's Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season, as his guys are back within a single score. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Now a carry from Mack. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a 1st.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Brissett from the gun on 3rd. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the second time. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On the return is Jones. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. If they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
In 2018, Deshaun Watson had 5 fourth-quarter comebacks. Only Drew Brees of the Saints had more with 6. And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. To throw is Watson, operating from the gun. It's complete. Stills. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders.
Looking for Stills here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. He was looking that time for Stills.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where is he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Mack. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right.
It's 3rd down.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd down and 12. Brissett sets to throw it. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, and he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Kenny Moore. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. A run by Mack to start the drive. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. On 1st down, Mack And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
He's coming to you. Motion. Hey.
On second down, it's Mack. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. On 3rd down, a run by Mack. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. 2nd and goal from the 1. They'll try to throw now. Brissett. And he's got his tight end. That's Ebron, and it's a Colt touchdown.
That's the way you make the speed.
Eric Ebron, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Vinatieri now to tack on the PAT. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get, and that's caught inside the 30. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. Watson hitting Fuller with a big one, 57 yards. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Back to throw, Watson, eluding the pressure right. And it's caught. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year as his guys are back within a single score. Important extra point up and through, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that third timeout would have really helped here.
And another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations.
So they come up on second down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. Now Mack, and he will force his way forward for a yard or two, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back. They get the all-pro guard there, Quentin Nelson. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They'll go again here with Mack. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
It's 3rd down and 12.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the
They'll go option to the short side. He can run for it, and he will. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Here's Jones. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And with the defense out of timeouts, powerless to stop the clock, this should just be a couple of kneel downs. And a sight that's becoming familiar in this season. They remain undefeated, another win under their belt.
And they did it the way that they really want to. Taking a knee at the end of the game. That means you have the ball, you're in control, you dictate the final part of this ball game, and they did exactly that.
And the clock rolls down to 0.
It's a loss of a yard.
So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days,